Welcome to Roll for Geekiness. I'm Amanda, also known as Villainous by Night on Instagram.
And I'm Jonathan, aka Tigerfire Studio, on just about all the socials.
Cool, we both remembered to do that this time.
Yatta! We just got back from Cosplay America 2024. Wow, I had to think about that for half a second.
Which is down in Cary, North Carolina.
Yep, just outside Raleigh-Durham.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second time we've been to this event.
Yes. And much like last year, this year came with lots of really cool workshops on different making skills. I got to personally learn a lot more about lighting and wiring for making your props and costumes light up. So there was a lot more of what we would have anticipated, I think, given our experience last year.
Yeah, so Cosplay America is a unique kind of event. It's small-ish, and it falls right in that intersection, I think, between making and cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really is a lot of like workshops, hands-on workshops, and demos and panels on like techniques and knowledge and information and skills, and there just really aren't a lot of events quite like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we found a lot of the same things running last year, that were running last year, were running this year, because some of the special guests were the same, but some of the special guests were different, and so there were some different panels this year. So I think that's something about this event. There's always a little bit of change up in who the special guests are, and therefore what panels or workshops that they're running. But I think we also learned that some of the special guests have been coming to this event since the first one 9 years ago, I think. Yeah. We also learned, so this was their 9th year of putting on this event, and some of those special guests have been coming every year and offering the same workshops again and again, or variations on those.
I was going to say, I think there's variations on those. Thanks for giving an overview of the event, by the way. I totally blew past that and assumed that people knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, you all watched our video from last year, right?
Right?
Yeah.
You did, didn't you?
Go watch it. Here's a link. It's somewhere up there. It'll be down in the description too. How about that?
In any case.
Yeah, so we attended, different things than we attended last year, because we wanted to learn different things this year. But yeah, I think a lot of the same vibe.
I did learn from last year and did not wear super fancy cosplay with ridiculously long wig hair.
Nor did I walk around with a giant prop all day long. So, yeah, we definitely learned.
We did. I would say for me personally, that actually made the event feel a lot chiller, because I wasn't so worried about what I was wearing or what it needed to look like. Obviously, a lot of people were very dressed up for the majority of the event, because it is Cosplay America. I totally get that. That makes sense to me. And quite a few of those people, too, were competing, which makes sense.
Yeah, I'd say the event was just as well run as last year. I think we probably had the same gripes about food as we did last year.
Yep.
I think we appreciated the really cool hotel suites that just exist at this venue just as much as we did last year. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much ditto marks for almost everything that was in our video for last year.
One notable thing that wasn't there last year that was there this year, and I don't know if they've done it in previous years, was a panel they had, I believe, that was just called Masters of Cosplay, and it was 3 individuals who have won some pretty high-ticket prizes and national or regional competitions recently, within like the Crown Championship, and they had brought their winning cosplays with them, and they were on display on mannequins. You could go up and look at them. They talked through their process too, which
sometimes a multi-year process for some of these. Like, oh yeah, I worked on this for 6 years.
And I thought that was...
Here were all my progress photos.
That was awesome. It was so cool to see stuff up close that we were talking about this earlier, that you just can't appreciate on the same level from seeing a photo or seeing something on stage when you actually are there for the competition.
Yeah, being able to get up that close to it and like really see the detail that some people put into these, or to even hear them like really talk through their process of like, you know, here's how I resized this to fit myself versus how it fit the original actress who is 4 inches shorter than me. You might not think that would make a difference for a particular costume, but sometimes it does. So yeah, like really like hearing them talk through the process and getting to see some of these things like up, like right up close is
yeah. I thought it was a very cool feature of the offerings this year, and I would advocate for having some version of that every year. It feels like something that anyone who's attending Cosplay America is going to be into.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely a lot of people there seem to be, if they're not at the top of their game, they're trying to get to the top of their game. So being able to see those, get that, like hear those processes, see those things up close, get some one-on-one time with people who have been through the process and ask the questions and like, how did you do this? How did you do that? What was your experience with whatever?
So
yeah, I think to loop back to talking about things that were the same and things that were different, probably ties into maybe one of our only gripes in going back for a second year now, is that the schedule for Cosplay America in terms of what the workshops are that you can sign up for, as well as all the other programming that's going on throughout the weekend, doesn't come out until like 2 weeks before the event. And like we've said, like I know a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes there, and I know sometimes you just don't have enough information to put it together, a schedule until the last minute. But if you're traveling from further away like we are, like making the decision about whether or not to go to the event might be contingent on whether it feels like there's any cool new material that you want to go digest. And I think something I also noted this year as we were there, it felt like maybe a lot more of the attendees were a little bit more local than we were. We certainly ran into a few other people coming in through the airport.
Oh, totally.
But I think in general, it felt like maybe those of us who had traveled from further away were a little bit in a minority. Yeah. So it's unfortunate that the schedule doesn't come out until so close to the event. I think that probably doesn't impact a majority of the attendees, and so there might be a correlation there. That's all. But yeah, if the schedule did come out sooner, I think this would certainly be an event that would always be on our radar of what cool new stuff is going on this year. But when we have to make travel arrangements, we have to think about that a little further ahead. That's all. Yeah.
To be fair, I think because we've only gone 2 years, it's unclear. I do think there was, to backtrack for a second, I do think there was a lot of stuff that was different than last time we went in terms of workshop offerings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
certainly.
It may be that next year it will look like 80% of the workshops offered again are also completely unique. And I recognize that.
Yeah, probably.
Obviously, some of the things that are going to be taught on or workshops that you can attend might be along the same veins, right? I could see 2 different cosplayers who are both known for their wig making doing very different types of workshops or doing very different types of panels. So I do recognize that
happened this year.
Yes. So I was going to say, so I recognize that it doesn't necessarily always need to be quote unquote new material or new things, so to speak. I know having different guests and them cycling through, right, having different people is probably part of what helps keep things interesting and different and unique.
Yeah. I think just my point is like having a sense of what that is and whether that is of interest to me in terms of making a decision about whether to go.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
So, but overall.
Yeah. Overall, still a solid event.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, 7 calico cats out of 10?
I'm gonna give Cosplay America 7.5 rhinestones out of 10. Because I'm busy
cut a
bedazzling
rhinestone
something.
in half? Man, that's dedication.
It is. That's how cosplayers are. Need to cut a rhinestone in half? We'll figure it out.
As long as it's one of the larger ones, maybe. The tiny ones would be a pain in the butt.
Okay, we've lost the thread. So
Yes. All right.
which I also do as a cosplayer a lot.
Ah, yeah, that happens
But
on the
it's-
sewing machine all the time. Wait. It's time to roll the die. 17.
All right, 17. You want to read this one?
Yes. Remember, kids, always use safety equipment when using your power tools. And your sewing machine is a power tool, and needles can break. Ask me how I know.